It's a big week in comics. Rom V brings the new gods into the spotlight, and there's a buzz about their possible ties to the absolute universe. Could we be seeing a new era for these fan favorites? Absolute Batman 3 continues to break records and redefines Batman for a whole new generation. Over in Marvel, the TVA takes center stage as Hunter B-15 from Loki makes her comic book debut. And G.I. Joe #2 storms in featuring the all-new Valkyries of Cobra. And trust me, they've made their mark. All this, and don't sleep on these incredible variants dropping this week. Pure fire. Let's dive in and see what's fresh this week in comics.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, picks this week's new comic book releases for December 18th, 2024. It's a big week, and part of the reason why it's a big week is because next week is Christmas. And Christmas falls on Wednesdays. I don't know what's going to be the situation. I was talking to a retailer today, and I said, when's books going to come out? They're coming out Tuesday or they're coming out Thursday?
So I talked to my store, and they say they heard from, this is in Canada, by the way, so take that with a grain of salt. They said they heard from their retailers, their distributors, it's Thursday.
So Thursday is going to be new comic book day next week. As far as our rundown goes, like I said, it's a big week. 122 comics. You think you got enough money for all those books?
Somehow it happens every week.
Well, there's 515 variants.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of variants. That's a big chunk of money. All right, 24 new #1 titles with 14 potential new keys, 9 of which includes first appearances. And again, there's an asterisk there because we don't know what we don't know just yet. Okay. As the breakdown goes, Marvel has 17 titles with 70 variants. DC has 19 titles. The rare occasion where DC has more books than Marvel. That doesn't normally happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
All right. So DC has 19 titles with 83 variants. Image is with Marvel with 17 with 65 variants. Boom Studios has 5 comic books with 32 variants. Isn't that nice? IDW also has 5 comics with 24 variants. Dark Horse has 12 comics with 23 variants. It's a little more normal. But the king of all variants, Dynamite, has 6 comics with 94 variants.
I hope you like the Thundercats.
Mad Cave Studios has 4 comic books with 5 variants. Titan Comics has 3 comics with 20 variants. That's a lot too. From the indie groups, we have 34 titles and 99 variants across all the indie comic books. Wow. It's a big week.
Yeah.
So, keys to watch this week. I'm going to start with New Gods. I think this is going to be the book of the week. That's my personal opinion.
I wasn't actually planning on picking up that book, actually, but now I'm thinking I'll flip through it and check it out.
The key significance of this book is, first of all, it's a #1, so we're starting off. New Gods are getting a title. It's going to be written by Rom V.
Yeah.
That's important to know.
I like it.
Yeah. And it features the first appearance of a new god as a child. It says here, first appearance of a new god as a child who is referred to as the last avatar. And the first appearance of Olivia Free, the infant child of Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. So there's your keys right there. Also important to note, this is taking place after Darkseid does what he does and creates the absolute universe. So the reason why I believe this is going to be the book of the week, this is the connecting branch between the DC universe and the absolute universe. And that's why this book is definitely one you should pick up.
And not a lot of people are going to realize that. So it probably doesn't have as big of a print run as all the Absolute books.
The first two books are their cover A and cover B. The third book is the 1 in 25. You could see the two different worlds as well in that book. That might be a hot book for next week. We might see that book in the list. So
yeah,
big deal. Another book that I think could be a sleeper, even though I'm not really banking it the same way I am for New Gods, is the TVA #1. This featured the first appearance of Hunter B-15 in a comic book. If you know who that is, she was in the MCU, so there is something to be said about that. It also features the appearance of a Gambit variant. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
First appearance of Sir Seconds and Doc Clock, which you can center there. It's also in that Christmas tree issue, which is just, companions to Miss Minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They won't be as good as Jeff.
No, in no way. And Miss Minutes there's only one Miss Minutes. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's Hunter B-15, there are people that want to complete their MCU characters. So I see people picking this book up. If Hunter B-15 becomes more utilized in the future, which they may or may not use, I could see this book having some kind of traction, even though I think it'll just be a minor B list kind of comic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. G.I. Joe #2. This comes out this week. Wow, it's only issue 2. I feel like we should be in multiple issues.
I know.
There's too many covers to show you, so I just decided to show you these 3. This will feature a first appearance of the Valkyries, which is an elite Cobra strike team comprised of females. When I was in New York Comic Con, they talked a little bit about the Valkyries. I will say Joshua Williams is very excited to show us what he did with the Valkyries.
That'll be good, and you can always watch out as well for the 1 in 10 Nakayama, because it's a connecting one if you collect those connecting covers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course, we got to talk about Absolute Batman, because that comes out this week, and it's the continuation of the origin of Absolute Batman, so we don't know anything other than that for this book. If it's anything like issue 1 and issue 2, this is going to be a sellout.
Look at that Delato cover in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Good. I'm guaranteeing you this is going to sell out. Now, I do say that with a grain of salt, because I do believe there's going to be tons of editions, right? Tons of printings. This book is not going to be short of availability. But
I know my shop ordered at least 50, because they have the 1 in 50 and the 1 in 25 available. So
yeah, so they are going to sell them. So pick it up just because. Okay. Helverine #1. This is the premiere issue. It's an ongoing series, so he's going to continue. I'm looking at that Dave Johnson cover in the center.
Yeah,
that
looks
that's
good.
The one I had that in FOC, so I know I have it. It's already mine. So I like these covers. There's also the Mark Bagley one, which is that third one that you see there. That's really cool.
Yep, that's a nice one too.
Mm-hmm. So if you like Helverine, this is going to be his ongoing series, so go pick that up. Challengers of the Unknown #1. This is the premiere issue of a 5-issue limited series, but is also going to be featuring, alongside the Challengers of the Unknown, it's going to be featuring the Justice League. Predominantly, it's going to feature Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Again, like New Gods, I do believe this is going to tie some knots with the Absolute Universe.
Yeah, maybe have to pick up that one too.
Mm-hmm.
That was another one that when I saw it in the FOC.
Center book that you see there is a Dan Mora cover, which that's the one I ordered.
Nice cover.
I love Dan Mora, so I can't argue with that. I'll pick it up just because there's a possibility. This is just a fun one. Ultimate Spider-Man issue #12. Who doesn't love Christmas Spidey?
Right. I saw that cover and I'm like, yeah, I'll be buying that for sure.
But this marks a full year of Ultimate Spider-Man comic books, which is pretty cool. People still love Ultimate Spider-Man, but we're 1 year into it, and it's still, I would say it's still one of the best Spider-Man titles in Marvel Comics.
Now, I will say that I don't know if you read this. I'm not going to say anything about it because I don't want to have spoil it for anybody. But if you usually pick up this issue, it might be worth picking up an extra copy of cover A because of something that's going to happen in this issue.
Interesting. You heard it here, guys. Potential spec alert. But this book will also feature some first appearances. Gail Watson and Anna Watson and Madeline Watson. So Mary Jane's siblings are showing up in this book. So there you have it. Those are your first appearances for those books, for this book. Okay. This one I'm definitely picking up. I forgot it was coming out, and this is the Rockefellers #2. I enjoyed the first issue.
It was
Very
really
much.
good. It was really good.
Mm-hmm. And what's important about this one, it's going to feature a splash page that reveals the Ghost Machine universe. And we're going to find out that there's 4 realities in the Ghost Machine universe, each with its own canon. So that's the significance behind it. That's the spec behind it. It's really just a fun read.
And the Ghost Machine has not had a misstep yet. Every book is amazing. The physical quality of the books is far superior to most other publishers right now.
Another one that I think is going to be a little bit of a potential spec, but I'm throwing it only because you have a writer in Garth Ennis, and then you have werewolves, vampires, zombies, and more with Freddy the Fix #1. The only thing that I think could hurt this book is that it's not your traditional comic size. So this is going to be more of the larger format books, but I can see this being some late spec
Yeah.
in this book.
From that description alone, if my store has it, I'll buy it.
Yeah. And it's Garth Ennis, so it's going to be ultraviolet. The writer of The Boys, the guy who practically reinvented the Punisher to how we know him today. What's, Preacher. I could just keep going on with Garth Ennis. Right? So check that one out. If you have the time to buy it, pick it up. All right, some eye-catching variants that we have here. What do you think about this Mark Spears book? Action Comics 1080.
We're on the Mark Spears bullet train right now, and it's just going to keep on going, I think. So I think it's going to be a hot cover. People are going to be buying it.
It is cover price, so that's the nice part about this book. Batman Superman World's Finest 34, which is the Vasco George V 1 in 25. I just think that's a cool cover.
Yeah.
And back to the Catwoman, man. Catwoman 71 Fang Choa. What am I going to say other than that's awesome?
Yeah, that's a great cover.
All right, I picked up 70. I picked up 70, which is very similar to this one. I'll probably pick up 71. Why not? Deadpool #9, the Jessica Fong cover. That's a book to pick up because it does feature what does she go by now? Dead Girl or Deadpool Girl? I don't know what she goes by.
I call her Daughterpool.
Daughterpool?
Yeah. Just you heard it here first.
Kind of hard because you can't call it She-Pool because that exists, right?
Can't call it Kid Pool.
Lady Deadpool. You can't call it Teen Deadpool?
Teen Pool?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Guys, you tell me what we should call her. Let me know in the chat what we're going to call her. So I think that's a pretty cool cover. Immortal Thor #18, the Russell Donovan anniversary issue. That's why this exists. I think it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful cover of Thor. Do not call her Lady Thor. And Sentinel #3, the Cal Ewing cover of Magneto in a throne made out of a Sentinel hand.
You've got me. I'll buy it.
And then we got some. These are your favorites, man. Ji-Hunk Lee on Ultimate Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, and Silent.
Yeah.
I love the backgrounds, how they work. They kind of work together with the three
Yeah, I
books.
didn't notice that until they were all together, but you're right.
Hmm.
They're great covers,
Yeah,
and I'll be getting all 3 of those.
and you'll be getting all three. The one in the center is a 1 in 25 for Wonder Woman 16.
Oh no, I might not get that one then.
And the Psylocke, as well as the Ultimate Spider-Man, both of them have version variants. You could get the trade dress one, and I think the trade dress on these are fine. The
Yeah,
Wonder Woman one is a 1 in 25. I'm okay with them. I'm not crazy about them. Mary Jane pose is very interesting to me. I kind of like that one a little bit more than the other two.
yeah. I do like the Wonder Woman one just because it's, it's got a little bit of action to it for sure with the lasso. It's cool.
Yeah.
The colors are cool.
And we got some more good stuff. This is Transformers #1. This is the David Nakayama. Transformers #1, the 10th
10
printing.
10 printing.
All right. So there's tons of covers for that book. Ultimate Spider-Man #12. This is the Patrick Gleason variant. He's utilizing his traditional style that he's made famous for Mary Jane. I would have preferred if Spider-Man wasn't in the image and it was just Mary Jane.
Reminds me of the series, like the Life at 60s, or that little run it had. That's kind of what the color reminds me of.
All new Venom #1. This is not considered a second printing. No one's saying anything. This was just a book that didn't come out last week, I think.
Just delayed, and it's a wraparound.
It's a wraparound, so it's still Venom #1. It's still considered a first printing. So if you see it, if you want it, it's a Herberto Ramos cover. That'd be great. Daredevil issue 16. This is a Mark Bagley spoiler variant. And if you see in the image, it's kind of hard to tell from the image, but our boy Bullseye gets his arm cut off. What's going on there?
You know what? That's what a good comic cover does. Makes me want to buy it.
So you check that one out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue #5. That's the Javier Fernandez cover. I think it's just a cool cover, man. It is so
that
cool.
looks neat.
All right. And in the 1 in 25 Crystal Con, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, World's Finest Special #1. That's a cool cover.
Yeah, I like the playing card style
playing
of it.
card.
It looks cool.
So those are your books for this week. There's a whole bunch more, but I'm not going to go off that list. It's a lot. There's a lot of books coming out this week, so go check them out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more comic content. Check out these other videos for even more insight, and I'll see you at the next one. Excelsior.